hello. It is your favorite podcast, and if it's not your favorite podcast, it should be your favorite podcast. But if it's not yours, send it to someone so it can be their favorite podcast. It is the Grow Club with your boy Mike
and Jazz. Usually I say your girl Jazz, but I wanted to switch up today.
I like that. How are you feeling this morning?
I'm feeling very good. I'm in a great mood today.
Yeah, it's a Sunday morning. The sun is out. For the video watchers, we'll address the elephant in the room. Me and Jazz have switched sides.
Yes.
Crazy.
Yes, we have.
Why have we switched sides?
Because this side, I tested it out yesterday, and it just seemed more comfortable. I was like, I want to give it a go because I can actually have my foot on the ground.
But with that side also comes responsibilities, because now Jazz has to manage, track and manage the audio.
Yes.
Make sure the levels are right. Make sure it doesn't randomly stop recording.
Yes.
How do you feel with all these responsibilities?
It's a responsibility seat. That's what it is. So good.
I respect that.
Yeah. We'll see how it goes. Hopefully, nothing bad happens because I'll never be in this seat again.
Yeah, and if the audio cuts midway or the episode ends
disclaimer,
quickly,
it's not Mike.
It's because of Jazz.
But I'm taking direction.
That was funny. But yeah, sun's out. I guess it's time to see all the work everyone's been putting in during the winter.
Yeah.
So it's time to get the guns out. Sun's out, the guns out.
Sun's out, guns out.
I see you have your guns out. You have your vest on. Come on.
I do.
How's training been going?
Training has been really good. I've gotten back into the swing of things. Finally. Finally. Because I've been trying to get into a routine for the last, I want to say year,
Year? It hasn't been a year.
Well, no, I've obviously gone to the gym.
No, I know, but
I haven't been in a proper routine. Like, I haven't had a proper plan.
Fairs.
And I feel that when your gym plan is off, your eating is off. And then when those two things are off, everything just falls off. And, excuse me, you don't really realize that until it's actually happening. And now I'm back into a routine. I've got my gym Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, so 4 days a week. And I actually look forward to going because I've got accountability, I've got a plan, and I know I have to show up. And I just feel like since getting back into that routine, everything else is becoming a bit more routine.
You even have your Fitbit on.
The Fitbit is back. I'm serious when the Fitbit is back.
Yeah.
And even the other night I was doing laps around my room just to get my
serious?
Just to get the rest of my steps in.
So OTT, man.
Yeah. I was even weighing my wine yesterday.
So imagine this, guys, right? So we're about to, I don't know, it's the evening time. I see Jazz gets a wine glass out. I'm like, oh, she's having a bit of wine. But then I see her pull out the scales as well. Then she proceeds to put the wine glass on the scale. And that's when I had to jump up and be like, this is ridiculous. You're not like training for a competition here. Just have your glass of wine.
Yeah, you took the scale away from me and said you're not using this.
Yeah, because that's ridiculous.
And I was like, you know what? Lucky for me, I already know where it should go for the amount that I want.
Yeah, I don't believe fitness should be like that, bro.
I don't mind though.
You're tracking your wine. One glass of wine, bro.
Yeah, okay.
Weighing scale. I don't. The imagery is hilarious.
Fair enough.
I've never seen a wine glass. I should have taken a picture of it.
You should have, yeah.
I've never seen a wine glass on the food scale.
But you know what? As if I'm being, I'm being held accountable. So it's like if I'm going off plan and then I'm not looking or weighing what I want to weigh or look, then that's only going to be my fault. So it's down to me to take it as seriously as I can.
Whereas?
So if I'm not going to take one aspect seriously, I might as well not take other aspects seriously. Who cares if I don't get 10k steps in that day? Sometimes I don't, but I make it up on the rest of the days. Who cares if I don't weigh the wine? I don't need to weigh my oil either. I don't need to weigh my potatoes or if you're not going to do it for one thing, you might as well not just do it for the rest.
I hear that. But you're weighing red wine,
which are calories, So I had a few extra calories to use. So I was like, you know what? Let me enjoy the rest of this wine.
Okay, so are you saying now that you being back in your routine and stuff is like bled into everything else that you're doing? Like, are you back in your mojo?
I feel like
have you got your mojo? That's it. Have you got your mojo back? What is mojo?
Yeah, what is that?
Mojo.
Motion.
Mojo. Have you got your mojo back? Mojo.
Shall I look it up?
Yeah. There's a lot of stuff we say, and it doesn't actually, like, we don't even know where it's coming from, what it means. Why is mojo? If it's 2 words shortened, that'll be jokes. Got my mojo back. It's definitely like an American thing.
You think?
Must be. What is it?
Mojo doesn't actually stand for anything. It's not an acronym. It's just a word. The origin comes. So you're right. The origin comes from African American culture, especially from the word moko, meaning magic or spell. The African languages brought over during the slave trade, over time, mojo became slang in the US for personal power, luck, or magical influence. What?
What's happening?
I had no
You
idea.
can't say anything these days.
Mojo.
This is why it's important to know exactly what it is you're saying.
Mojo does sound a bit voodoo-ish. Mojo.
Yeah, I got my mojo.
Mm,
Yeah, low key. Yeah, that'll make a good clip.
that's crazy.
Yeah.
Who knew what mojo stood for?
Anyway, do you feel like you've got your flow back? Flow isn't.
No.
Yeah,
Yeah.
flow's
I do. I feel like when your fitness is in check, then everything else becomes more aligned and for example, you can't be consistent in one aspect of your life and not the others, especially when it's something like fitness where it's not easy to do. It's hard, and that's why so many people don't do it.
You think you can't be consistent in one and not the others? Or you shouldn't be? 'Cause
No,
shouldn't and couldn't is 2 different things.
No, I think that when you're consistent in your fitness, that does flow into other aspects. Because I think when it's a thing like fitness, it's not an easy thing to do. So I think naturally, if you've got your flow back in the gym, if you've got a routine, you're dedicated, consistent in the gym, I do think that has influence on other things.
Yeah.
And in my experience, I've noticed as well, I just feel a lot more not lightheaded, that's the wrong word. I feel a lot more
energized?
Energized, organized. Like I have a plan and I like having structure. But I like having accountability for that. So yeah, it's been really good.
Yeah, no, I agree. For me, it's like if I'm not going gym or training just in general, everything falls off.
Everything's like deflated. Deflated.
Yeah, because deflated.
No, there's another word that's like depleted. Depleted. That's it.
I wouldn't use that word.
Okay, deflated. Let's go with deflated.
I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't say any. You're the one who said that.
On our last podcast, you were actually wrong about your grammar, and I was right when I was talking about something. So I reckon depleted is the right term.
I'm also saying this is my sentence. Don't put your word in my sentence, and then tell me to say your word in my sentence. Is it okay if I have my own sentence?
Yeah.
Please. Anyway.
Granted.
Sorry about this, guys. What was I saying? It's gonna come to me. Yeah. When I don't go gym, everything just falls off board because there's 2 sides to it, right? Where I like when I have a gym session, I normally structure my day around it.
Yeah.
But then at the same time, I'm very like, I don't know if like body dysmorphia is where I'm leaning towards. But when I don't train, I feel just not myself. And then when I see that I'm losing weight, it starts to stress me out. And then when I get stressed about that, I get stressed about everything. And then just going back to the schedule part of it, if I'm not training, I'm not eating as much as I do. Because normally if I'm training, I know like I need to eat before training, I need to eat after training, and I need to obviously fuel my workout, etc. So then everything kind of comes in line with that. It's a lot more structured. And then because I'm eating more, I'm a lot more energized and I feel good after working out because it's like, man, I had a sick workout.
Endorphins.
Exactly. So, yeah, and then even like with me doing the boxing now as well, I'm really enjoying boxing. And I think sport is very important, especially like when you're like a kid and stuff like that, because there's so many values, skills, and qualities you learn from sport. So, for example, in football, team of 11, you're learning about teamwork, having people's back. If depending obviously what position you're in, if someone's out of position, you need to come in and cover them. Do you see what I'm trying to say? But that's something you can apply for life. If someone's doing something for the good of everyone, you might need to fill into that space, fill into that gap. You see what I'm trying to say? And obviously the whole concept of winning and losing as a team as well.
It's not just you haven't lost.
Do you see what I'm saying? But then again, now, for example, I'm doing boxing, which is like a one-man sport.
Yeah.
It's you versus someone else. Although you do have a team behind you, but when it comes to performing, it's
just
you and alone, you by yourself. So you have full control of that outcome. And I think just the discipline and training, and because for me, boxing, martial arts training is probably like the hardest training I've done.
How so?
I don't know. I think it's obviously I've done, like, when I was younger, I used to play for a lot of football teams. Well, not a lot of teams. I played for a team. I played a lot of football. But the thing is, I had really hard training sessions. But I think when it comes to martial arts, you can't really hide.
Yeah.
Do you see what I'm trying to say? Because normally when you're training with the lads, like football, it's group sessions. You can kind of
have an off day.
Do you see what I'm trying to say? Kind of get away with it. But I think with martial arts training, it's so intense. And the reason it's so intense as well is because there's someone on the other side that's trying to beat the crap out of you.
Yeah.
And it's like, if you want to take a break, you can't, because he's going to
punch in the face.
He's going to be beating you up, essentially. Obviously, with football, if the ball's on the other side of the pitch and you're a right back or whatever, obviously you can just tuck in and just relax, take a deep breath until it, you know what I mean, kind of comes back to it. So yeah, I think in general, there's a lot of like qualities sports bring up. And then I think in general as well, as someone who, for people in business, I think when people see that you're we've got a very what's the word I'm looking for? The world is very
judgmental. No, not even judgmental. They're very like not analytical, but they're sussing you out. Everyone's always sussing you out.
Yeah.
And
I think first impression is a thing. So I think we come up with our own biases real quickly without realizing we have. So I think generally when you see someone who's in shape, looks good, the qualities you might assume with them is disciplined, routine, has their life together. That's an example. Do you get what I'm trying to say? So I think for people in business as well, it's like when you're trying to network with people or interact with people, these are little things that they may associate with you without them even realizing they do.
Well, it reminds me of something that I watched recently. I don't know who brought it up. I don't know if it was you or someone, but I don't know if it's lobsters or whatever, but
no, it definitely wasn't me if it's talking about lobsters.
No, it's how lobster. Let's just say it's lobsters. I'm not even sure, but it's how they have like not even a hierarchy, but they have a system. Okay, and we as humans kind of copy that. So if you're going into a room, let's say you're in a networking event, you're automatically, without even you thinking about it, because your brain is automatically wired, you're trying to suss out who's in charge. Who's this person? Who's that person? You're trying to work out who's the top person. And naturally, without you even thinking of it, you're looking out for that. Oh yeah, okay, well, who's this person? Or are they in charge of this, or are they in charge of that? Kind of relates to what you're saying. When you see someone who, let's say maybe a bodybuilder or fitness coach, whatever, you're gonna automatically assume, well, it's just someone who's in good shape.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
You're gonna assume that they know, they have their life together because they have that discipline. So it kind of relates to, I don't know where I read it.
Okay. Are you going to tie it back to the lobsters?
Yeah, because it's the lobster, like, let's just say lobsters, crabs or something like that. That's how they operate. I don't know how we know that. But
So essentially, when crabs go into other crab territory,
I think it's lobsters, but
lobsters, they quickly needs to, I say, probably
need to know
who's bossing it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. No, we definitely do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, facts.
Because, I mean, when you go to events, you're always trying to see, okay, who's the person I need to speak to, who's the person orchestrating all of this. You're very good at that. You're very...
Who, me?
Yeah.
Okay, no, break
You're
that
very
down again.
observant.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah,
even
no.
when we went to a viewing recently,
Yeah.
and you were looking on their whiteboard and stuff like that, really like not too much, and
Yeah,
then you were
I
able
think
to
yeah,
find.
I think we can mention it. So yeah, we went for a viewing, because we're praying and we're in faith for a new place. And the place we went was a nice place. So then generally you're like, because this is a nice place, it must be these type of people that live here. Mainly because of like the rent and stuff like that as well. So we're obviously viewing the house, but the tenants haven't left at this point, so they're still there. So the agents are showing us around the house, etc. So showing us the different rooms, the kitchen, and then he shows us the main bedroom as well. So this is where this guy has like his desk slash office. So obviously we're just there to view, but I kind of look and take note of like everything. And his whiteboard was there, and I had a quick glance on it, and then I seen like his schedule. So like 7 a.m. wake up, 7:15 make breakfast, 1 p.m. Go for a cycle, 2 p.m. meeting. So then when we at this point we'd left, and then I was saying to Jazz like, it's not by chance or coincidence that people who do well tend to have like schedules or have timetables or formats as to how they're going to spend their day. So I think that's kind of where you're going in terms of observing. Like I look for like clues, like how is this person doing this thing, and then I
And what
guess
industry are they in as well? Like we're just
yeah,
as people, we're just nosy,
yeah,
but also it's a form of potential networking as well. It's like, oh, how could we potentially help
yeah.
each
Because I
other?
seen like a logo, and then when we walked out, I Instagrammed the logo to see like what business this is.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I guess when you're in spaces as well, I do tend to see like who's talking to who and how are they talking to that person, because then you can kind of figure out who does what or who's the person that I should be leaning towards in this scenario, because they may the they may be the decision makers. Because I think that's important as well. Like if you have like a service or whatever that you sell or an offer, you always want to pitch to the decision maker, because
Yeah.
if you pitch to someone that reports to them, they may not convey what it is that you do in the best manner, or they may not
You need to
tell
go
them
to the
at all.
source.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think there's little ways of. I'm trying to think. What are ways you can tell people are decision makers?
Do you think it's how they like carry themselves? Do you think it's how they dress? Obviously, you know, if they seem
Yeah, I don't know.
fit, that's one thing. But is there any others? Like if
Yeah,
I'm
so
trying to find
fit's not. It's not always the case when it comes to decision makers. That's just a. I think that's just a byproduct. The whole fit thing is just when you look fit, people associate certain traits with you. It doesn't necessarily mean if I walk in and the henchest guy there is the boss. You see
no,
what I'm
but
saying?
it is true. A lot of you see a lot of entrepreneurs, they're always into their fitness. Let's just take George Heaton, for
Not
example.
always.
I think a lot of the time, a lot,
There's a lot
especially
of faff on these, bro.
but a lot of, I'd say, young entrepreneurs
Yeah, I think
rather
that's
than the
probably better
older
to say.
money.
Yeah, yeah, okay.
So I'm not on about like, you know, that guy in Florida who owns all the yachts and he's a big guy.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, good point.
Yeah.
I can't
I'm not on
remember
about
his
him.
name.
He's just
Yeah. The
enjoying
real
his life.
estate guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm on about
He's hilarious.
young business owners, usually in the digital space as well.
Mm-hmm.
They're always prioritizing fitness because they see it's not just a copycat thing. Oh, yeah, I must automatically love gym because I'm now in that space. Like you said, it's a byproduct.
Yeah.
And it's discipline.
Yeah.
Like George Heaton's story, actually, the reason that not the reason, but one aspect of him being as successful as he is because he started 72 hard. And before that, he had no purpose. His routine was all over the place. He had no structure.
75.
Is it 75?
Yeah.
Not 72?
75.
Okay, 70. Really?
Yeah.
All right, he did 75 hard. And then from there, he was like, you know what? I love this. Like he was, because obviously 75 hard isn't just.
What is it for people? Because people.
75 hard is where you have to do 2 workouts every day. So that will include an indoor workout and an outdoor workout. It also means that you've got to read so many chapters of a book per day as well. you've got to stick to a diet. It can be any diet you want. Drink X amount of water. It's basically things to improve your lifestyle, but it's kind of extreme as well, because obviously 2 workouts a day. Obviously one could be, a light jog or tennis or whatever, or boxing if you do it outside. And then the other could be gym. But it's conditioning you, and it helps create that person that you want to become, because people like following
those
a plan.
habits, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. It creates really good habits, and
you do that for 75 days. Yeah.
And you do that for 75 days. That's why it's called 75 hard. And so he started that, and he swears by, ever since then, he's just been all about fitness. I mean, now he's just got he's got a running club now, and now running is just the new thing.
But before we get into that, I think even that's why I say sport's so important, because like there's scenarios in, like, for example, in gym, when you're repping out whatever you're repping out. Let's just say you're doing bench press and you're getting to the end of your set. Maybe you want to do 10 reps, and then by the 6th one you're struggling. But if you push through the 7th, you push through the 8th, and then the 9th is super hard, but you push through that. That mental resilience you build up, when you apply that to other stuff, it feels light. So for example, now if I want to, I've got work to do in the evening, and I'm like, it's getting late and I'm tired. When I compare that to me on my 9th rep of whatever 100 kg or whatever I'm repping, it's not even comparable. Do you see what I'm trying to say? So I think it's a sport, exercise, fitness. It's a good way to build mental resilience that you can now apply to other stuff, especially like with running as well. When people are doing like really long distances or doing marathons, there's definitely, I assume as well, there's like phases in runs where it's like at the start you're fine. You get to a point where it's like, this is really hard, I want to give up. But then when you persevere through that, you get to a point where it's like you're flowing again.
Yeah.
And then you get to finish. You see what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
So I think these are qualities and habits that you can build and refine through fitness and sport that you can now apply to life and business and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, because it's all mindset anyway. Otherwise, if gym was just doing the movement, you wouldn't feel the need to finish the reps. You'd be like, all right, I'm tired now on the 6th rep.
Exactly.
Let's just call it a day.
That's why I used to struggle going gym with some people, because they're very blasé about it. They're just like, okay, the moment they feel a bit of like stress or strain, like, yeah, set's done. I'm like, push, man. Like we're not in the gym just to like for the sake of being at the gym. Do you get me? Like let's work. It's meant to be hard. Like I love having hard workouts, and at the end you just feel class, because like, wow, I did that. I didn't want to come in, but I came in and I accomplished that.
Kind of feels pointless as well if you don't push and you've barely broken a sweat. When you're in the gym, you're like, I could have stayed at home or just gone for a walk.
Yeah, you
like,
might as well have, yeah.
Why did I even come?
Yeah. But yeah, you were saying about the run clubs. What were you going to say?
Yeah, like, it was based off 75 hard. So obviously George now has created a running club through his brand, Represent, which Manchester based really. But he's now brought it to LA, and now running is like the new cool thing.
Before he did it though.
Was it before?
He wasn't the one to start run clubs.
No, of course not. But he's made it cool. I feel like he's made it cool.
He's got a big one. He's
okay.
No, because
when did it start then? When did running become cool? Because
COVID is when everyone started running, because no one could go gym. Because that's when I was doing runs as well. Like, remember me and Cesno were doing we had our MS grind. I know we didn't even know each other then.
No, but I remember you telling me.
Yeah, we used to like do our 5Ks and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I think that's definitely when running became cool, because people had no other choice but to go on runs, because we couldn't go gym at that time.
Remember, you could only go out once a day, otherwise Boris Johnson would be knocking on your door saying you got to stay in.
Yeah, which is actually crazy. Sorry, the mic was saying that I wants to the camera, the temperature. Anyway, yeah, no, exactly. So
it started in
yes, it started in COVID, but obviously I think it's kind of picked up after that. But then I think once everything started opening up again, we definitely lost that sense of community during COVID, where everyone was just isolated, literally and figuratively.
Yeah, when I would go for walks down the street during COVID, I've never been spoken to more. I was like, hello, good morning.
Yeah.
Like, it's nice.
Yeah.
Now, just no one talks to you. Well, I mean, it's gotten better, but
Yeah, but that's not my point. My point is that like now that we're back outside, we've lost that sense of community where everyone's trying to not like. That's basically why run clubs are so big now.
yeah,
Because everyone wants that. Like as humans, like we crave connection. That's how we're kind of built and we're wired,
yeah.
and that's why that's so important now to, I think, like find your community of what you do. And because I think community does help you grow in whatever avenue of life that you're in. Like it helps when there's other people who do the same thing.
Kind of a shortcut as well, because you're learning from others.
Yeah.
And you adapt to new mindsets. And this is kind of going off our previous episode, but you learn a lot faster because there's people who have been there, done that, or they can put you in touch with other people. Like,
Yeah.
there's so many communities nowadays. Obviously, you got run clubs, you got networks. Like again, like we touched on.
Yeah, but I think even just outside of the networking side, just more so like connection.
Yeah.
Do you see what I'm trying to say? It's just
Yeah.
being able to speak to another human, but also like speak the same language. Like for example, if you're both into running, you guys can speak about running, but it's like you guys may come from two different walks of life, but there's one thing that unites you guys, which is running, or whether that's box. Like for example, in boxing as well, I'm chatting to all different types of people that all just enjoy boxing. You see what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
So I think it's important to definitely, especially like if you move to like a new like community or a new city
Definitely.
or something like that, it's definitely worth using. I think sports like a hack. Definitely using sports
It's
to
such a hack.
get out there and meet people,
Yeah,
and
because you're all doing the same thing, so you're not going to look silly. It's one thing that you've got to do with everyone. It could be a fitness class. You could go to one of those, PT group class things, which are really popular.
which ones?
Like down the road, like RM Fitness, and those group activity PT classes, like where they get to do circuits.
Ah, yeah.
Those are really popular here.
Yeah.
I mean, sports is such a hack. If you're moving to a new city, just join a run club, join paddle. Like that's the new thing.
I was talking to that guy at our gym. You know him, the big friendly giant.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. He was saying that we need to go paddle because he's been going, and I've
Yeah.
been seeing paddle. Like I really want to go because I feel
It's like the new thing.
yeah, it's just a good way to like network with people because not everyone does it, but the people who do it seem to be cool people and
Yeah,
great
it's
in
so
that way.
random.
I know, but it looks sick though because obviously it's like tennis, but
Yeah.
it's a mixture between that and like squash. Squash, what they call it?
Yeah.
Yeah, squash.
Squash is with the. Yeah, it'd be squash.
With the what?
No, sorry, I was getting confused with badminton.
I was about to. I thought once you did that, I was like, where
yeah,
are you
no,
going with that?
no. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, no, that's badminton. But yeah, I think that would be something really cool to get into.
But it is such a good way to find a community. What was I gonna say? Oh yeah, but it just going back to the whole routine, it just helps you form a routine. So that is another hack of just sports as well. And a lot of people I've noticed a lot of people are turning away from gym now.
Yeah, because now it's all high rocks and calisthenics.
Yeah.
And why do you think that's happening?
I think a few years ago, like after COVID, everyone got into the gym, and I know for girls anyway, the goal was, get a big booty, small waist, all of that. And now there's been a change and everyone is trying to look more athletic, fit. And they realize, you know what, I'm so bored of the gym now. COVID was 5 years ago. They've been in gym for that time. They need a change. And so there's so many new activities now that can make you feel as good as the gym that people are just wanting a bit of a change.
Yeah.
And again, like you said, high rocks. I mean, it's still,
Would you ever do a high rocks event or high?
No, I don't. At this moment in time,
Is that a bit of you like cardio type stuff?
No.
Yeah, I didn't think so.
No.
You don't like strenuous.
No.
Like running type stuff, yeah.
No, like the things I enjoy is gym, boxing, which I'm going to get more into, in the summer. What?
No, I'm just smiling.
Okay, I will
allowed to
join.
smile.
I will join.
Yeah, I
Basically, Mike's been going boxing for a few months now,
I think
or 2 months.
Yeah,
I haven't
just
joined yet just because of timetables, but I will be joining. Don't you worry about
we're
it.
waiting for you.
Yeah, I'll be there. Don't worry. So that's more a bit of me rather than these other classes. They're not really. I mean, even classes in general, I'm not really interested in them. I've been to like a circuit one before, and yeah, it's just no. I'd rather stick to my gym routine, lift weights,
I
do a
think I'd
bit
like
of
to do
cardio.
high rocks. I like
You
the
want to do
idea of
everything.
it, but I notice all these high rocks people make it their personality. Like everyone must know that they do high rocks.
So do bodybuilders, though. I think everything.
No, but that's because bodybuilders are bodybuilders.
Mm.
I don't think there's a noun for people who do high rocks, like high rockers.
Not yet, anyway.
No, because bodybuilders, they go gym a lot. The thing is, a lot of bodybuilders aren't on socials like that. But the high rocks people, it's like, hey guys, I've got high rocks coming up. Hey, I just completed the high rocks. These are my times. Da 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 da. And then,
Or even runners as well. They make that their personality.
Yeah,
runners,
no,
they get the vests. They get the whole running gear.
I swear.